Namaste and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Shrinay Devishankar, and today I'm coming here from an organization that we belong to. It's called the Northern Phoenix Hindu Temple Society. Firstly, I would like to thank you all for having us here today, for inviting us over. It gives me great pleasure to be here this evening and to be in the presence of you all. So tonight, I'd just like to give you a little bit of some background information about our organization, about the Northern Phoenix Hindu Temple Society, and also to speak to you a little about Sanatan Dharma. Okay. So, the Northern Phoenix Hindu Temple Society, as the name states, it's based in Phoenix, in Stanmore. This organization was founded in the year 1988. It was founded by the late Mr. Biharilal Jagru and has been fully operational ever since. Our resident Pandit is from Haridwar in India. His name is Pandit Ganesh Dutt Lekwar, and our NPO number is 052422. We normally have satsang every Tuesday between 7 and 8:30. So just some history with regards to our organization. In the early 1985s, Hindu families in Phoenix sought a place of worship where they could connect with one another, where their children could learn about religion and culture and their identities as Hindus and could be preserved. Lacking a formal location for conducting such activities, several families then began to meet on a weekly basis in Stern Grove Primary School, which is a school in Phoenix, where they would study the Gita, conduct puja, and celebrate holy festivals. This tradition then continued through the years, and a close bond of friendship materialized amongst these Hindu families who came together to honor their faith on a regular basis. By 1988, an innovative idea was envisaged: the establishment of a formal society whose purpose would be to celebrate the richness of the Hindu faith and to preserve the age-old Hindu customs and traditions within the Phoenix society. From this concept, the Northern Phoenix Hindu Temple Society, also known as NPHTS, was born and was established as a non-profit organization. On February 2nd, 1993, a purchase agreement was signed to legally make the address goes as 222 Battenmore Crescent a property of the Northern Phoenix Hindu Temple Society. The purpose and the vision of the Northern Phoenix Hindu Temple Society was to provide a Hindu mandir, a place of worship, to bring into closer association the members of the Hindu community in the Phoenix and the surrounding area, to provide a forum for scholarly discussions of the Hindu philosophy, to conduct and sponsor religious, spiritual, and cultural activities for the benefit of the Hindu community, to also establish a hall that will depict Hindu philosophy and religion, to preserve and embellish Hindu traditions and cultural heritage, to teach its younger members the history and development of the Hindu philosophy and religion, and to inculcate a pride of their heritage as Hindus. So now that I've given you a little bit of some background information regarding our organization, I want to also speak to you a little about Sanatan Dharma. What is the definition of Sanatan Dharma? Sanatan refers to a term meaning eternal. It refers to the eternal truth of Hinduism. The roots of this phrase can be traced back to the ancient Sanskrit literature as a kind of cosmic order. Sanatan denotes that which is something without beginning or end, something everlasting, something eternal. Dharma refers to an individual's duty fulfilled by observance of customs or law. When we speak about law, we are referring to a divine law, a natural law. As such, the whole term Sanatan Dharma can translate as the natural and eternal way to live, living by these laws. You'll often find that many Hindus say that Hinduism is not a religion, but it's a way of life. And this stems from the teachings of Sanatan Dharma. In fact, Sanatan Dharma is widely considered to be the original term that was used to describe what we now know as Hinduism. Sanatan Dharma encompasses a lot of duties and practices that us as Hindus or as human beings should follow and take heed to. The list of practices includes virtues like honesty, goodwill, patience, mercy, self-restraint, asceticism, generosity, and most importantly, to follow a path of righteousness while we navigate our way through this life on earth. Following this code or following these principles allows one to reach moksha, a state of spiritual liberation, self-knowledge, and enlightenment. To understand Sanatan Dharma correctly, we need to understand what it is based on. And it's based on the principles which I've just explained to you and these virtues. How does Sanatan Dharma preach all of this? It says, you are not the body that is on this earth, but the consciousness that makes the body what it is. All the desires coming to the mind is but the mind wishing to be better and living an elevated existence. All the activities humans do are done believing it will bring some kind of satisfaction or happiness. The things that we do nowadays in our daily lives, we do it so that we can achieve some sort of satisfaction. Okay? Sanatan Dharma addresses this, but it keeps God as the highest destination that a soul can reach to, as it shows that nothing else in this world is permanent and everything is temporary, while God alone is true forever and ever. Suffering and death reminds every human of spirituality. That's why suffering is regarded as being necessary. Because why? It brings you closer to a higher power. When we are in trouble, when we're going through a bad time, there's days where we'll forget about going by our lamp, putting our hands together and praying to God. But when somebody is sick, somebody's got no money, somebody is going through a rough time, the first thing they'll go and look for is God. So it speaks about this and it says that's why suffering is necessary to teach us and to make us understand that, or to bring us closer to a higher power. Sanatan Dharma focuses on conveying one truth to all. And that truth is that ego is false. The ego, what the mind has made up, it is the ultimate veil of illusion that a person can cause themselves, forgetting the reality of oneness with the universe. Sanatan Dharma binds the ego with the material world and states that all beings are one in the same, an essence of God. In the eyes of God, we are all one. You can be a millionaire businessman and I can be somebody on the streets. But that's a maya, it's an illusion. In the eyes of God, we are all equal and we are His children. This oneness is the only reality. Sanatan Dharma believes in eternal reality, stating if we lose this body without attaining Godhead, then we will have to wait until we get a human birth again to escape the samsara, because humans are the only beings capable of escaping it. What does Sanatan Dharma conclude? All living beings are suffering. We are not the body but the soul, and our souls are immortal. This life is but an experience which is not permanent. We are born in this material world, bound to become ashes, having a fleeting body and yearning to reach God. God is the ultimate. Forgetting God is the ultimate illusion that is played by the wheel of time. Sanatan Dharma paves the way for man to reach God and to become formless and fearless. There are 4 paths to God, and through this, God can be reached in a human body. These 4 paths are Karma Yoga, which means knowledge through action, Jnana Yoga, which means knowledge through wisdom, Kriya Yoga, knowledge through the manipulation of energy, and Bhakti Yoga, knowledge through devotion. Okay. Sanatan Dharma believes in karma, dharma, moksha, and samsara. Karma meaning the universal response to your actions. Dharma meaning the search for truth. Moksha, the path to liberation. And samsara is the cycle of rebirth. Today it is indeed a sad state to see that the word religion is so corrupt and usually causes conflict amongst people. Sanatan Dharma is not a binding religion. It helps people of all religious backgrounds to be a better human being, to follow a better way of life, and to get closer to a divine power. It increases the vibrations of a person to vibrate on a higher level of consciousness. That is why we attend satsangs, that is why we attend religious festivals, to vibrate on a higher state of consciousness. If you don't want to be closer to God, you would not be sitting here today. You'd rather be sitting at home and watching TV. So that's what Sanatan Dharma talks about. It brings people on a higher state of consciousness to bring you closer to the divine power. In conclusion of this topic, a small mantra comes to mind. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. And this means, may all the beings everywhere be happy and free. And may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life contribute in some way to that happiness and to that freedom for all. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an honor to stand here today and to be able to speak to you. I hope you have all learned something which you will carry with you when you leave from here tonight. I thank you all for your time, which is in fact priceless. May God bless you all, and I hope you have a safe journey back home. Thank you. Namaste. Namaste.
Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. Jai Shriman Narayan. I pay my obeisances to my spiritual master, Srimad Jagat Guru Sudarshan Acharya Ji Maharaj. I pay my obeisances to Lord Sri Ramanuj. I pay my obeisances to our Purva Acharyas. I pay my obeisances to our 12 Alvars. I pay my obeisances to Mother Lakshmi, and I pay my obeisances to Lord Shriman Narayan. I welcome all of you here physically at the Narayan Dham in Durban, South Africa. I welcome those that's watching this discourse locally, nationally, and internationally. And I welcome in advance those that's going to be watching this discourse when it is posted on YouTube and the various groups from around the world subsequently. We are in the midst of our celebrations of the month of the Ramanujans, And for that Bhai that gave his talk today at this satsang, I need to focus his mind on one pointedness, because Sanatan Dharma may be in a variety of dimensions, but to attain the perfection of Sanatan Dharma, you need to tune your mind to one pointedness. And this is our mission. This is why I personally took my birth down here on this dark African continent, to enlighten and bring clarity to a library of information that is not coherently practiced or followed by those that call themselves Hindus. In fact, there is no such spiritual designation as Hindu or Hinduism. There is no religious spiritual designation such as Hinduism. We must start forgetting using that terminology. This terminology is from the creation of Islam 1400 years ago, when Muslims from across the river Sindhu geographically identified people living across the Sindhu river as Hindu. These Muslims could not pronounce the letter H, so they could not pronounce the letter S, so they used the letter H and called those living across the river Sindhu Hindu, and they called that land across river Sindhu Hindustan. So this is a false identification which we are encouraging all of you that call yourself Hindus to stop using this identification. There is no Sanskrit word called Hindu, and the mother of languages, Sanskrit, is the language of our scriptural law called the Vedas. So in Sanskrit, we are called Sanatan Dharmis. We are called Sanatan Dharmis and not Hindus. Next, we need to know specifically what we are pursuing. We need to know the laws that govern Sanatan Dharma. And there is a library of information. There are 4 Vedas, there's 108 Upanishads, there's 18 Puranas, 6 of which is Sattvic, there's the Bhagavad Gita, and there's the Vedanta Sutras. If you are following your grandfather's tradition and your grandmother's tradition, that is not Sanatan Dharma. That is not Sanatan Dharma. There is no excuse to say, my mother did it this way, my father did it this way, my grandfather did it this way, and my great-grandfather did it this way. If God did not prescribe the way, then it is not authority in Sanatan Dharma. So how do you learn basic Sanatan Dharma? How do you learn basic Sanatan Dharma? And I want to state, Suren Bhai, that if we do not know our scriptural laws, we should not be running organizations in the name of Sanatan Dharma, because we are making a mockery of Sanatan Dharma in itself, and this is why Christians and Muslims are tramping the heads of Sanatan Dharmis. I've taken a very, very strict and a severe stance against Muslims and Christians. And I've given them a warning that never again will any Muslim or Christian or any person of any faith trample upon Sanatan Dharma ever again. And I went and I took comprehensive action against these delinquents. But in the same breath, if we ourselves do not know what we are doing, then we're opening the door for this type of criticism. So I'll give you an example. There is a temple at the corners of 601 and 701. Do you all know of the temple? You know of the temple, Surenbhai? What do you see when you view that temple? How high is Lord Hanuman Baba? He's about 50 meters. Yes? What is the name of the temple? Shri Vishnu temple. How small is Lord Vishnu on the temple? He's under the feet of Lord Hanuman Baba. He's on that entrance. He's sleeping on that entrance. So there is a Vedic injunction. There is a Vedic injunction that no deity must be placed higher than Lord Sriman Narayan or Lord Vishnu. There is a Vedic injunction. It is an offense to place a deity over the Supreme Lord. In Parliament, if you were to create statues, can you take a statue of a councillor here in Durban and make it higher than Nelson Mandela's statue? Can you do that? We cannot. So this is what is happening in Sanatan Dharma. 10, 15 people get together somewhere and they decide to form a Hindu society or a Hindu temple. Then they do not go into the Vedas. There is the Pancharatra Agamas which state exactly how a temple must be built. Pancharatra Agamas give specifics for temples. Firstly, who knows the real reason for the creation of temples? Surenbhai, why you think temples were created? Look at all the ancient temples. Go on Google. Look at all the temples in India. What do you see? What you see? Let's be logical. Guru is not fighting with you because you're coming from a temple. This is for every Hindu that's listening to this discourse. What do you see? Huge domes, beautiful murtis, and there's a specific shape to every temple, yes or no? A specific design. Temples were created as energy centers. Temples were created as energy centers. The domes absorb the cosmic energy. You see one long dome in the sanctorium of the temple, one huge dome. There is a murti underneath the dome and there is copper plating under the murti. Yes or no? Yes or no? Or you don't know? And that, do you ever hear an echo in a temple where there are domes and a sanctorium wood? A murti is seated where the Guru is, like this. Go in a mountain and scream. And go inside a temple and scream. Not one echo. Not one echo, because it's an energy transference center. It picks up the energy from the cosmos. The plates help absorb the energy in the murtis, and this is why when other religions make a mockery of your murtis, you must laugh at them. You must? Surenbhai, what you must do? laugh loud at anybody that calls you an idol worshipper. That idol has a scientific value of absorbing the cosmic energy, the magnetic pull of the cosmos. It brings the energy in. You don't need, Suran Bhai, but please don't send that Bhai back to India, Haridwar. But you don't need a priest in Sanatan Dharma, because the energy is automatic. It is automatically infused into the murti, and when you go to that temple, you are supposed to go and sit down there, close your eyes, still your mind for 15 minutes and energize your human body, and then leave the temple and go on with your daily life. Do you understand? There is a special process to bring life into the murtis. In this Kali Yuga, we do not have qualified Pancharatra Agama priest to read the mantras in the correct frequencies. Everything is about frequency, sound, energy, mathematics. That is Sanatan Dharma. Physical science, chemistry, biology. That is Sanatan Dharma. Politics, business, living in a society, in an integrated society. That is Sanatan Dharma. The Vedas have everything that is contained in this universe is in the 4 Vedas, the 108 Upanishads, the 18 Puranas. All of you understand? The Ramayana and the Mahabharata. So in this Kali Yuga, Kali Yuga is a time of 75% irreligion and 25% religion or dharmic values. Yes or no? You've seen it in your own family. In family on 4, mother, father, son, daughter, one will only be inclined to Dharma. Yes or no? Yes, only one is inclined to Dharma, because that has been configured into the cosmic mind. We all have a mind that is connected to the cosmic mind. Our subatomic mind is connected to the cosmic mind, and this is Kali Yuga. And in Kali Yuga, Lord Brahma configured the cosmic mind to be 25% divine. Yes, you all heard of that? Sat Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, Kali Yuga. Sat Yuga 100% divinity, Treta Yuga 75% divinity, Dwapara Yuga 50% divinity, and Kali Yuga 25% divinity. We have heard of this. It is configured in the cosmos. We have to fight this configuration. We have to fight this configuration. So Sanatan Dharma has given you the 4 seasons, the 4 greater seasons: Satyug, Treta Yuga, Dwapara Yuga, and Kali Yuga. And when you live in each season, there is a prescription. There is a prescription on how you can connect to the Supreme Lord. So, Suran Bhai, in your time and my time, if we wanted to send a message to somebody, we used to use the telegram. There was a season for using the telegram. Now, if Suran Bhai didn't get paid over last weekend, he'll use the WhatsApp and tell Mataji, you owe a balance from last weekend. That's his communication. So I don't know whether my people paid him or not. I don't know whether anything from ashram will get repossessed or not. I see he came with his members. All right, I don't know whether they are from the repossession department. Okay? But if Suren Bhai sent a telegram, it would have not reached Mataji. Because in this season, at this point in time, WhatsApp is the authorized communication. Yes or no? So if we use the telegram, Mataji would have not have received that communication. And similarly, God has stated that in Satyug, you live for 100,000 years, you got time to close your eyes and meditate. In Satyug, you live for 100,000 years, there's enough time to get him through meditation. In Treta Yuga, you have 10,000 years. You attain the Lord through gorgeous sacrifices and functions. Gorgeous does not mean go take 100 goats and chickens and shaya it. Sacrifice means sacrifice your time, your money, and your energy. Time, money, and energy. In Dwapara Yuga, you live 1,000 years. In Dwapara Yuga, you live 1,000 years. You go to the temple and you do deity worship. In Kali Yuga, you live 100 years. You live 100 years. From that 100 years, alcohol, drugs, and cigarettes already taken away about 20 to 25 years. So you're living 75 years. In that 75 years, you got no time to look at your wife, look at your husband, look at your children, where you'll have time for God, where you can meditate. Show me who truly can meditate in Kali Yuga. Whoever is telling you to follow the path of meditation in Kali Yuga is giving you wrong advice. He's telling you to use the telegram. He's telling you to use the telegram. In Kali Yuga, there is only one communication with the Supreme Lord, and that's called Sankirtana Yajna. Sankirtana Yajna, which means you must attend a satsang. Satsang means a group of pious people hearing the absolute truth. A group of pious people hearing the absolute truth. Where would you find the absolute truth? In a havan? By dressing apples, bananas, oranges, milk, agarbatti. Can you get the absolute truth there? Suren Bhai, were you here last week Sunday? Did you see lime and cloves inside? Did you think who done it? Jessica done it. And that was to keep the insects away. Nobody done it. Nobody done it. That was simply to keep the insects away. You saw me walking with the camphor lit arti. Lit wood campfire, you saw a flame just now when I walked from outside inside. The campfire only kills and purifies the atmosphere. Nobody done it in ashram. Alright? So when we take fruits, when you take fruits and offer it to the Lord, is it wrong or right? And why do you offer the food or fruits to the Lord? When must you offer fruits and milk to the Lord? When and why? When you are fasting. When you are fasting, you do not put any grains in your stomach. At the end of your fasting, you take fruits and milk and you offer it to the Lord, not because the Lord needs it, because it's a compulsion. If you offer it to the Lord and you'll eat the Lord's blessings, and then you eat that fruit and you drink that milk, it is only for biological reasons. Only for biological reasons. Don't bluff yourself. Nothing else is there. Nothing else is there. Sweetmeats will help your stomach to start getting greasy again after a day the engine was stopped. After a day that the engine was stopped, eat your gulab jamun, Suren Bhai. Don't look at me like that. Eat your laddu. Wife made some nice soji. Eat it. Not for any other reason. You lubricating your digestive system. You gave your stomach a break. You gave your stomach a break. You did not get closer to God. That is the illusion, Bhaiya, in Sanatan Dharma. Right? So when you take your fruits, when you take your milk, it is to lubricate your system after you have fasted for that day. It is a health benefit, not a God benefit. We use the deities to compel you to fast. The compelling of the fast is for your own health reasons. Do you understand? Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Now laugh at the Christians and the Muslims when they say you take apple, bananas, and you hand it over to the murtis and idols. Now you can laugh at them because it has a scientific value. Do you understand, everyone? It has a scientific value. Sanatan Dharma can be practiced by Christians, Muslims, Jews. Every religion that is on earth, Sanatan Dharma can be practiced by all of them, because Sanatan Dharma is not religious based. It is science based. Everybody can fast, everybody can have the fruit, and every religion, whichever human being has the fruit after fasting for the whole day, the scientific benefit will be the same. God has nothing to do with it. God is not involved in that. If you want God, then whose instructions you must follow? Bhaiya? If you want God, then whose instructions you must follow? Sanatan Dharma is the only system where God has come down to His creation and explained everything. Who has explained everything? God. He did not send a prophet like the other religions, to give you tidbits. In Sanatan Dharma there is no tidbits. Lord himself has come down and he taught you not only how to get him, he also gave scriptural injunctions how to get him. So you must have Ramayana classes in your temple. You must have Ramayana reading in your temple, not as a scholar, you'll go nowhere. Not as a scholar, but as a practitioner. As a practitioner. You must have Bhagavad Gita classes in your mandir, not as a scholar and not your priest singing the Bhagavad Gita in Sanskrit. What you get in when he's singing the verses in Sanskrit? What are you getting? Boredom. What you get in? Bored. You want the session to end. Bhagavad Gita must be taught to you in your own language. What's your language? English. So don't get carried away by India priest who can sing in Sanskrit, play the harmonium, because only he understood what he's saying. You did not understand. Is it logical, what I'm telling you? Is it right or wrong? You must understand, because you are searching, you're a seeker, you want to know who God is, yes or no? Then he must be given to you in your language. So when you experience the stories of the Lord on this earth, you'll find the first thing that the Lord took when he was a child, he took a guru and he learned from a guru. The whole Ramayana is guru-disciple based. The whole Mahabharata, guru-disciple based. The whole Bhagavad Gita, guru-disciple based. All the Puranas, guru-disciple based. All the Upanishads, guru-disciple based. There is not a Veda where the substratum is not guru and disciple based. So if you're a Sanatan Dharmi, and if you want to experience Sanatan, you can know Sanatan Dharma from the outside as a scholar. But if you want to experience Sanatan Dharma, then you have to go and do due diligence. Due diligence and find a bona fide guru and take lessons from the guru if you want to be a Sanatan Dharmi. That is a Vedic injunction. Everyone without a guru is lost in this world. And everyone who has a bona fide guru is not lost. They're going through the same problems. They still have cancer. They still have COVID. They still have poverty. They still have pains. They still have divorces. They still have alcoholic and drug addict and gambling sons. But because their foundation is a guru, they can navigate easily through the same problems. You climb the stairs to that problem, they will go up that lift with the same problem. Do you understand? The problems do not change. When you meet a guru, your cars won't change very fast. It will change, but it won't change very, very fast. You'll be in the same domain, but you'll have an understanding of the domain. You'll understand why you are going through a particular experience. And you'll have confidence to go through that experience because beneath you is the Guru. Beneath you is the Guru. And I explained yesterday that I fell from a rock. You can see my hand. I fell from a rock this high that dislodged, and I fell head first onto other rocks. There was a whole pile of all shapes of rocks. But only this hand got injured because my guru put his hand underneath me, but I had to take some pain. I had to take some pain. And I also explained that when I first started satsang 2014, when I met Suren Bhai, then I was sand mining and the excavator hit my skull, a 20-ton excavator. The operator did not see me and he did this, and the bucket of the excavator, which is 20 tons force, hit my head and I landed on top of the stockpile. And I had a vision of my head busting into pieces like a coconut. I had that vision, and when I fell and when I opened my eyes, the first thing I did was touch my head, and I found my head not even an ooze of blood, because when that bucket hit and made contact with my head, I heard that sound. It was a very sickening sound. But my guru put his hand in between my head and the bucket, and I landed unscathed. The same day, it was a Thursday like this, I had satsang in that hall where I met you for the first time. Andhra Vishnu Hall in that bottom. Okay? All of you understand? So, things will happen when you with a guru, but a guru will always cushion your impact. So it is nice. There's nothing wrong in what you're doing at your temple, because for those of you that do not know, in 2014, 2015, that was my Phoenix branch. Yes, Suren Bhai? That's when I met Suren Bhai. We were having satsangs at that temple on a Thursday after we moved out of here. All right? So, at that point in time, I was a mobile satsang. I was having 4 satsangs in 4 parts of Durban, and all the caretakers and priests were giving me a hard time. They were treating us like dirt. All the executive members of the temple, the caretakers living on the premises, they were treating us very, very badly. But we did not stray from our mission, and today I have my own ashram. This ashram is not public funded. This is funded by myself in the main and under 10 devotees. Under 10 devotees, its cost is in excess of 2 million rand now from 2018. Okay? So from nothing, from a classroom to sitting here today and discoursing to over 45 countries from around the world once a week. We have made history. This is the only ashram in the world where for the past 2 years I had interfaith sessions, not as a window dressing, where people from various faiths, various religions, various backgrounds came and fell in love with this ashram. They fell in love with us and we fell in love with them. Suren Bhai was here on Sunday last week, and you witnessed all of this, not the first time, quite a few times. All right? And they stole his show. Yes. The Qawwali people, they shunted Suren Bhai one side, and there was Qawwali, after gospel music, after gospel music. In fact, in reality, I have more Christian and Muslim devotees than Sanatan Dharma devotees. And this is a world first. Go show me another ashram in the world, Suren Bhai, that's doing what we are doing. And the reason Bhai, who gave that speech, is because I am connected to a spiritual master. And the successes of this ashram will be unlimited, because I am 100% connected to my spiritual master, and we are connected to Lord Sri Ramanuj, whose 105th birthday we celebrated. Lord Sri Ramanuj is connected to Bodhiyana, and Bodhiyana was a disciple of Srila Veda Vyas. And Srila Veda Vyas is the compiler of all the Vedas. So we, this Sri Sampradaya, this emblem that you see on my forehead, is the primal emblem. It starts from Lord Sriman Narayan, it comes down to Lord Ram, Hanuman Baba himself wear it. So we are the original. We are the original spiritual potency that is exuded by the Supreme Lord, the Creator himself. We have not diverted 1 millimeter to appease any custom, philosophy or tradition. We are the Vedas original, as it is the essence of the Supreme Lord. This teaching, this sampradaya is flowing like a river from the reservoir of Lord Sriman Narayan at this point in time to me and to you. Do you understand? Nothing has been tampered with. Nothing has been tampered with. So we can say that the Sri Sampradaya is synonymous with Sanatan Dharma, and Sanatan Dharma is synonymous with the Sri Sampradaya, and I'm making this declaration around the world. I'm making this declaration around the world, that the Sri Sampradaya teaches you exactly what is in the Vedas. So if your connection comes through all the substation into your premises, then your connection will be within the amperage that your premises was designated for. Yes or no? Because it's bona fide from ESCOM to all the various substations to your premises. Similarly, our amperage is within the parameters of what Lord Sriman Narayan has spoken in the Vedas itself. But you can also have what our informals do, settlement, what they do. You can steal some, like that Vishnu temple in Unit 7. What they did? They stole some power from the substation. So there will be some light, but it is stolen light, Surenba, you understand? You have to have authorized from ESCOM. But what people in the Jondols do? They go to the substation, they put wrong wiring, but they do get some light, but they also get shocked. See, yeah, you can touch anything, you won't get shocked. So similarly, in the Vishnu temple, all those people, they get in shock now and again, because the connection is not as per scriptural injunction. So when you setting up your murtis in your temple, you can have a Durga temple, but it must, if Mother Durga is at the highest level, then you can't take Lord Vishnu and put him underneath. Do you understand? You can have a Durga temple. See, I got Mother Durga here. I got Lord Shiva outside, you saw, at the entrance. You can have all these murtis, but you have to have them in the category as designated in the Vedas. Then it will be a legal connection. All right? So you're trying to build a temple from 1985. How many years have gone by? 15, 30, 35 years. Change that. And I asked Surenbai to come and pick me up. We'll do a walk around. Spiritualize that intention now. Put God, bring God in that equation. Because look at myself. Look at this ashram. Surenbai has been with me from the time I had no ashram to all of a sudden this ashram. Now this ashram is being broadcast to every corner of the globe. In just a matter of years, because the mission was right. So sometime if you got the wrong members, Surenbai, I told you before, with the wrong intention, then everything is going to be at a standstill. But now I see that you can open up into something quickly. If it is possible for me, why it is not possible for you? You understand? We do not have rich devotees. Nobody put a couple $100,000 here. You understand? We start and we do everything in a small way, and I'm sure everything is going to happen. And I want to give you this message officially with your members, because I've asked you quite a few times, have one service on the Tuesday, invite us. I'm a guru from South Africa for South Africans first. You are connected with the Guru. Guru was connected with that small hall there where we used to have satsang. And let us bless and let us make it a success. Let us make it a success. Jai Shriman Narayan.